Hello, I'm Charles and welcome to my Hebridean Way adventure. 156 miles of beaches, moorland and amazing scenery. Good morning, back on the trail. I think it's Friday morning, in fact it is Friday morning. And today has dawned, I think we could say gloomy. Gloomy is the word of the morning. It's dry, there's a brisk breeze and it's a bit cooler. So not having to wear sun hat or sunglasses this morning, that's for sure. So, a shorter day coming up today, hopefully, and the first few miles are going to be road walking. So, I'm going to get those ticked off, hopefully pretty straightforward, and then we're back onto the moorland up to the top of a hill. Now, looking at the hill now, I can see that it's capped in cloud, so hopefully it would have lifted a bit by the time we get up there. Otherwise, the promised wide vistas of the Outer Hebrides will be totally invisible. Oh, interestingly enough, this house here, very traditional style, is brand new, and it's been built in the style of a very traditional croft style. Looks really, really nice, and it looks more snug and warm. A lot of the other houses, are sort of modern bungalow style, and you wouldn't know that they were slap bang on the coast of the Outer Hebrides. They make no concession to dealing with the weather at all. I know which one I'd rather spend the winter in. So after miles and miles of road walking, this marks the end of the tarmac and the start of the track again. And it's going to take us up to the top of that hill pretty soon. I'm really pleased to be back in the moorland and countryside after quite a long section of road and track that wasn't the prettiest part of the Hebrides, I dare say, past waste recycling centres and stuff like that, and quarries and things. But now, back in some nice countryside. Look at this lovely lake. Ooh. That's the good news. Bad news is up there, just under the cloud, Ruabal, my next stop. So, got the walking poles out, time to head uphill again. Oh, hello again. So that is the top of Ruabal. I've just come down. One nice thing about this path is it hasn't been too heavily walked, so the trail isn't always that obvious and muddy. But even so, on sections like this, it's extremely wet, and you're really hopping from dry spot to dry spot. And if I swing around, this is the next few hundred yards. There's a couple of marker posts I can see, but between me and the marker post is low, wet squelchiness with heather tussocks. Marvellous. So I've got a choice. Either I go down to the loch side and follow the rocks, or I stay up around the base of the slope and follow the heather. Makes it really slow going, and I can hear the traffic on the road. It must be just over the hill, but that's going to take me a while to get there, I think. In some ways I'll be happy to get to the road, but in other ways I'll be kind of sad, because in some perverted masochistic way I prefer this kind of thing to road walking. Do you know what I mean? No. I'm talking complete rubbish, aren't I, really? I'm going delirious. I've lost it. Right, onward. This was the first distillery I saw, but it was still under construction and it wasn't open. From then on, I was back on the longest causeway on the trail, taking me to Grimsay, then North Uist. Grimsay, island number 6. I timed it. I was on the island of Grimsay for exactly 14 minutes. So I'm leaving Grimsay now, over the causeway to island number 7. So island number 7 is North Uist, and yet another causeway. Today has been a day of causeways. I've been playing a game of will they wave or won't they, and I've come to conclude with cars going past, most people, especially the locals or people in commercial vehicles, give you a little wave. Basically, the more expensive, fancy, speedy the car, the less the chance of them waving. Well, it's one way of passing the time, I suppose. Oh, there's this lovely salty seaweed smell in the air. Well, it looks like finally you got to the end of that section of road, and now we're going to turn off onto the trail again. But then I had a change of heart as a very nice campsite came into view. Right, so I changed my plan, and I've ended up stopping at the campsite just before the turn off to the main road out onto the moors again. And there were several reasons for that. Number one, power banks were running a bit low on power. And number two, after several days without a shower, working hard and slogging on the trail, I could really do with a shower. And also there was the water supply issue. Didn't look like there was going to be any fresh water to stock up on beyond this campsite. And the fourth factor was that the availability of wild camping beyond Langas, where I really was hoping to stop. People have camped there in different places, but it looked a bit sketchy, and there's a very strong blustery northerly breeze at the time, which would have been hitting exactly where I was going to be wild camping. The final thing that swung it for me was, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop at the campsite, I'll say hello to them, and I'll get the feel, get the vibe, whether it's a nice place or not. When I saw the lovely little kitchen building, a lovely little laundry building, how pristine and clean the showers and toilets were, oh, well, that pretty much swung it for me. So, I've had a very productive hour or two. Everything is clean, tumble dried. The power banks are all fully recharged, and I found myself a nice pitch. And then the sun came out, and I've been able to come down to the coast, and it's a lovely bit of coast as well. I'll be on the trail first thing in the morning though, I'll tell you that for nothing. Good morning. By my reckoning it's Saturday morning. Hope so. And I'm on the trail already, nice and early this morning, and everything is clean and dry and comfortable, which is a nice feeling. But today has dawned cool and cloudy, and the cloud base is quite low, just 200 or 300 feet, so it's got that sort of murky feel to it, and I actually had some spots of rain just now, so it's cool. Feeling a bit chilly, but I'm working on the basis that if I start off feeling cold, then after a few minutes walking, hopefully I'll have warmed up a bit. That's my theory anyway. So today, on a bit of a mission today, because I was a softie and went for the comfy campsite yesterday with all the benefits that offered, it means that today I want to make up a few miles on the way towards Berneret. Sorry, just distracted because it's a slightly boggy section. There we are. So that's one reason for starting quite early. Quite apart from enthusiasm after a good rest. So today, a bit of moorland, and then quite a long road section, or parallel to a road section, as we wend our way towards Bernay. But the weather forecast says that things are going to brighten up as the day goes on. So, bring it on. Oh, actually, this is a nice spot with a good panorama. Yeah, the islands are looking kind of as you'd expect the Outer Hebrides to look, windswept, murky, but with a kind of desolate beauty all of their own. Right, I have a feeling today is going to be a good day. I don't know why, I just got that feeling in my bones and I'm quite looking forward to it. So bring it on. It's going really nicely this morning. It's nice cool weather and the clouds slowly lifting. So on the hilltops in the distance are gradually emerging. And I was just thinking to myself, this is one of the nicest sections actually. There's nothing particularly special or dramatic or featured, but it's just really nice path meandering along through the moorland, which I really enjoy. And all the time off to my side there's this really intricate coastline of rocky bays and inlets, seaweed and geese flying around, and there's a kind of a stillness to the place. I'm sure it's not always like this, but right now it's a really lovely morning to be walking through it actually. So I'm in the zone, I'm enjoying it a lot. So I keep looking down, see where I'm putting my feet so I don't land on my face on camera. So the next sort of milestone, if you like, is Lanshan, the hill and the woods and the hotel, and that is that lump over there. This has been so far a really, really enjoyable morning's walking. I've just come around the corner and I caught sight of, well, I'm going to say the bridge, or possibly the remains of a bridge over this creek. This could be interesting. Let's see what we find when I get there. Whoa! I think it's passable, but oh my gosh! It's looking a bit second best, isn't it? That is the craziest bridge ever. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, so here we go. And of course, when you're attempting to cross a rickety, half-broken bridge, the best thing is to hold a camera in one hand. Oh, okay, solid as a rock. I'm feeling for movement. I think we're good. Made it. Well, that is something else. Hidden amongst the heather is a prehistoric stone circle made up of 24 standing stones. It's over 30 metres diameter. Lanshan Hill gave me amazing views across the loch-strewn landscape towards Loch Maddie. And then I reached the famous statue of Hercules the Bear. Right, I made it to the hut at Lanshan Woods, and I've got the tent out, having a bit of a dry out after this morning's dew and stuff, make it a fraction lighter to carry. Now, this is where I could have been heading to camp last night. So all the way I've been looking around, scouting around for, is there a nice place that would have been really good to pitch the tent? And the short answer is nothing. I would have been completely stuck, I think, and had to carry on. So that makes me feel a little bit better that I didn't miss an amazing camping spot last night. But as soon as the tent's dried out a bit, can we get back on the trail? I've got 5 miles to get into Lochmaddy, then we'll carry on out the other side. So I'm on the long road section between Laxay Woods and Lochmaddy at the moment. So that's what's in front of me. And this is the bit that I've already done. It goes on and on. But actually, it hasn't taken too long ahead because it's a really nice path. And for once, I don't have to keep stepping on and off the road to let cars and camper vans and lorries go past. The path followed the old road that threaded its way through lochs and peat cuttings. Lovely guy I met, and he was flying a drone. Hopefully he's got some good drone shots, and hopefully got a photo of me walking on the trail with my selfie stick in my hand. Wow, that was well over 6 miles of road walking in the burning sun. So got a little bit tedious towards the end, and I'm so glad. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I'm so glad to be heading off the road and up a hill. That's a very rare occurrence, isn't it? So, not sure how to pronounce this place, Blaisabal, something like that, but it's a lovely, lovely spot, isn't it? And the walk out of Lochmaddy was quite pleasant actually. So now we're going to go up, let's go around the side of this hill. I think I've probably crossed over the halfway mark on the trail as well. So it's a homeward stretch now done. So that's quite a nice feeling to have as well. So sunny weather, nice cool breeze, done, finished the road section, over halfway. Yes. So the next stop, well, not sure exactly. It depends how I get on, how much juice is left in the tank. I want to get close to Bernay. I might actually want to get all the way there because I'm not sure what the wild camping possibilities are like there. So I might stop just sort of this side of the causeway. Anyway, we're going to get close enough, basically so that tomorrow morning it's a short walk to the bistro for breakfast. That is my cunning plan. It's still a glorious afternoon, look at it, absolutely glorious. And I've decided to take a break, and I've got the sun warming my back. So I took the opportunity to double check times and for ferry crossings and shops and campsites and that kind of thing, just as well I did. So there is a slightly reduced service on the ferry tomorrow because it's Sunday. So I have to get the 8:30 a.m. Ferry crossing. Shame, but more importantly, the shop and bistro is not open tomorrow Sunday. So if I'm going to go and get some goodies and bits and pieces and be in the right place for the ferry in the morning, then I'll need to get across the causeway and get on to Bernay. So that means an extra mile or so this evening. But so far I'm going quite well, so I've got plenty of time, and the good news is that the shop stays open until 9 o'clock in the evening. The views, absolutely fantastic. I can see the Cuillin on Skye, the Trotnish Ridge on Skye, I'm on my way rushing to Hebridean. I'm not really hanging around, but I did want to stop to just check out this fortified island in the middle of the lake. So there's the fortified island in the lake. That's quite a common feature around these parts, but this one's got an extra feature. It says to get to that fortified one, you've got to get to this fortified one, which in turn has got a causeway to the shore. So it's 2 stages of defence. That is really smart. I've arrived in Hebridean Way, and this is the ferry terminal. I cannot tell you how pleased I am to be here, and I'm going to be pitching my tent somewhere over there, ready to catch the ferry first thing in the morning. The early morning was clear and still. The ferry weaved its way through islands and hidden channels towards the small port of Liverpool on Harris. Oh, look at me all bundled up. It's Sunday morning, and I'm on island number 9, Harris. But it's Sunday, and the Sabbath is respected a lot here, so the place is quiet, still, very peaceful. Why am I bundled up like this? Because it's a bit chilly, and standing on the deck admiring the view on the ferry got quite cold, so I was deliberately keeping nice and wrapped up as I start walking to get some heat back into my bones again, warm my feet up, get moving. So the ferry was really interesting because I met some other walkers doing Hebridean Way. Yay! That's the first. Another couple. Nice to speak to, nice to pass the time on the crossing. That was nice. And the ferry was a step up from the one from Barrow. Oh yes, much better lounge and a coffee machine on board. So that was welcome as well. So here we are, Sunday. So this is, let me think, day number 7 on the trail. Island number 9. I've done ferry number 2. So we're getting well stuck towards the final section of the trail. It's a bit sort of murky, damp feel, cool. So underneath my giggle I've got my puffy on still and my fleece. And I'm still just comfortably warm. When I start heading off the trail, off the road onto the trail, I should say, I'm sure I'll warm up pretty quickly. But right now it feels just about right, and my feet are slowly warming up as well, which is the main thing. This is a typical old constructed path where basically they've dug a ditch either side and lumped the soil up in the middle to raise it up a bit from the bog either side, so it dries out a bit and is a bit easier walking. It's just really nice. A bit lumpy, but still a lot better than scorching through the bogland. And I got an amazing view up to the route on the col I'm heading up to next, the Bilach. It's really beautiful moorland around here, and the trail is twisting and turning its way through the tussocks. There aren't any marker posts on this section, which is kind of a mixed blessing. It means that you're not so easily able to identify where you're going next, but to be honest, there's only one path anyway, so and in a way not having marker posts just makes it seem a bit more natural, less like a sort of way-marked route and stuff. It really feels like you're sort of stomping across the moorlands. There's more a sense of isolation. But a little marker post every now and again, just for reassurance, later on might be handy. Anyway. Wow, what a contrast. 10 minutes ago, I was thrashing over boggy moorland getting down to this beach, and here I am now walking on white sand again in a blissful bay. This is brilliant. And I really also, it's even nicer because the contrast from what I was doing just a few minutes ago up in those hills. So there's about a mile of this lovely beach walking to do. Just going to get through the dunes now so I can see the sea. Wow, just wow. The sun's come out. It was raining a couple of hours ago. The sun's come out and the sea, the colour, I hope it's coming through okay. It's this beautiful pale green, blue, turquoise colour. Absolutely enticing, absolutely beautiful. And it's contrasted with the green of the hills and the mountains in the cloud in the background. Oh, hey, I could really spend some time here. Luckily, I'm going to. If you want a postcard image for the Outer Hebrides, then take this. So after another couple of hours of walking, it's getting pretty warm here actually. I found, got my campsite, which I'd booked last chance for a shower and stuff for the next 3 or 4 nights. So probably a good idea. And look at this place. So lovely evening, not quite as bright and sunny as it was earlier on, but still plenty warm enough. And so the tent guy lines are bedecked with various items of clothing drying out after a soggy day or two. Been on the trail for a week now. Really into it now. My body knows it, that's for sure. So, but actually, having said that, remarkably, the body seems to be holding up. My feet were grubby. They had a shower. They're a bit better looking now, and paddling the sea helped with that as well. Legs seem to be fine, just a bit tired going up hills these days. And the back, from carrying the pack for a week or so. But yeah, that aside, we're absolutely fine. So happy days. Long may it continue to the end of the trail. And if the weather stays like this for the next few days, then, well, that would be amazing.